Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing super duper well. For today's video, we are going to be completing part 2 of our English bed and breakfast build. I decided to open this up with showing you the grounds that we did in our live. For this video, we are going to be focusing on furnishing the first floor of our build. It is quite a long one, but I hope you will enjoy it. But let's get on with the build. Hey guys, so we're going to be jumping into the build in just a second. I just want to address this because I've been trying to delete this thing for the past like 30 minutes. This stupid mailbox, I've tried the shift and click button. I've tried deleting the lot completely. It will not disappear. I'm really peeved about it. It just won't disappear. Hopefully, Sim's team will fix this. I'm guessing it's a glitch or something, but it will not go away. Hopefully, by the time I'm sharing this on the gallery, it will be gone. But if it's not, I'm so sorry. Obviously, that's not where I want our mailbox to be. I did place during our live, I placed the mailbox here. So whenever you do download this in the gallery, if you would like to do so, hopefully then you'll be able to delete that mailbox, but we're just gonna have to ignore it. I'm so sorry about that. But anyways, okay, we are going to be doing the first floor, I think, for today. I feel like it's gonna take a bit, so I think I'm not gonna get too rambunctious and say we're gonna do more than that. But I'm going to pause the recording and I am going to go ahead and place all of our wallpapers and staircase, and I'm gonna go ahead and install temporary lighting throughout the entire build just so that is done and you guys will be able to see clearly what I'm doing. So I just wanted to explain the mailbox and explain this, and yeah, just give me 1 minute and then we will get right on with the build. All right, we are ready. I went ahead and placed these little welcome mats. These are the ones that came with the Cozy Celebrations event. I originally wanted to use the for rent ones, but I'd rather use a base game item if I can, just so that it's a bit more accessible for people that maybe don't have a rent pack. Now we're gonna start with our little entryway. This is quite a lot of rooms, quite a lot of decorations. We're gonna get through as many as possible. I was hoping to have this only be a 3-part build. We're gonna see how that goes. I was gonna try and record both parts today. We're gonna see if I can or cannot do that because I'm recording this on Thursday, so this video will be out on Friday, so tomorrow. But my husband and I, we have plans for this weekend, so I want to try and get my recording done ahead of time. We are going to be going to, we live in Sweden. We're going to be making a little trip to Copenhagen, in Denmark, and we're going to the Sakura Festival this weekend. I'm very excited. It's going to be very fun. I don't know if anyone's going to be there. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, meet me there. No. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be great. Okay, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like a little, it's from the 4-bed. Let me look at it that way, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna go to that little festival, walk around. The weather in our area has been absolutely beautiful, so I'm really looking forward to that. And it's gonna be great. I'm looking for, it's like a little hallway thingy. Darn it, it is a mirror. Maybe it's under surfaces. Sometimes I forget. There you are, this guy, the tranquil dressing table. I just did not remember what it was called. So this way, if they're getting ready to leave, they can like look at themselves and whatnot. This build has a lot of wall sconces in it. I'm kind of debating if I want to wait and do those off camera. I might, just because that's going to save me recording time. But we shall see. Yeah, I might. I mean, if there's like lamps, then maybe I'll place those. But we do have these ceiling lights that I placed. These are not going to stay in the final build. They're just so that you guys can see what I'm doing, because no one likes to watch a video that's all pitch black and dark and you can't see anything. I think I used this lamp up on here. Oh, of course you don't click on there. Wonderful. All right, yeah. So like these things, like even the wall sconces and stuff, I had to like float them around and stuff, and it can be quite tedious, and it would probably be annoying and boring for you guys to watch. So yes, okay, I think any extra lighting and stuff like these, I'm gonna wait and do those off camera. If it's like a ceiling light, I will place it, but yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I just I want to try and, I don't know, I feel bad. I don't know if you guys actually do care if I have more than 3 parts in a build. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm convincing myself that you guys care more about that than you actually do. It's just like I feel bad because that is another couple of days where you guys aren't going to have access to this on the gallery because I have to make sure everything's completely done and whatnot before I upload it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I want like a little chair, so if you want to like take your shoes off or put them on, you can do that. I'm trying to remember which one I used. I think I used this one. And I'm gonna use, I think it was this shade. It was either that shade or, nope, it was not that shade. Definitely not. All right, this one. But yeah, there's definitely, I wanted this build to be very moody and stuff and very strong. I think I looked at like obviously old English manors. So like that vibe very much. But I didn't look at a specific time period, but I do love doing like old houses and stuff. I would maybe call the, I don't know. I don't even want to say it because if I'm wrong, then people are going to be like, actually, that's not accurate at all. Which is completely valid and fair, to be real, honest. But yeah, we're just going for a general old house, I suppose. Just to let me cover my butt so I don't get roasted by the peoples. All right, we already started on this hallway, so we're just going to continue on with this hallway. Here's the great debate with this rug. Do I have it line up with this doorway or that doorway? Because I do want to have a nice runner. I think we used this in a couple times in the build. Yeah, it's definitely an old, well, it says right there, Victorian rug. Is that rotated the right way? Yes. All right, hold on. I gotta focus here. Oh yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna move these guys over just a little bit. Yeah, all right. I think that's as centered as we're gonna get. Excuse me, my voice is still kind of blown out. We went live yesterday. Yay. I loved it. I was really nervous in the beginning, but after a while, it definitely I got much more comfortable. So if you were able to join in on that, then I'm very grateful. I low-key was kind of hoping no one would jump in because I was so stinking nervous. And I was like, well, if I'm just doing it for nobody, then that's fine. But yeah, I was kind of like convincing myself. I was like, okay, like it's your first stream, so most likely no one's going to join, which is kind of, I don't know. I wasn't like trying to like be down on myself and be like, no one's gonna join your stream, but like more in like a comforting way, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to like hype myself up with like it's your first stream, so no one's going to be expecting you to be, oh my goodness, amazing, outstanding. But it went quite well. I think I didn't watch anything back or anything, but from what I could hear out of my own brain, I was coherent, I think. But yeah, if you did join, I'm very grateful. I did do one tiny little announcement. But again, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't feel like making a big deal out of this. Like, if someone happens to happen upon it, that's cool. But yeah, I didn't want to make a huge deal about it. But I enjoyed it, so I definitely think that I will be doing another one. I think that's, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, that can stay for now, but I'm not sure. I am going to shrink this down because I do remember I shrank this chandelier down, which this chandelier, I love it. It's from the Business and Hobbies pack. And yeah, I totally love it. Okay, we're just going to finish off this little hallway here. I just placed like some random stuff. Like there's like this little butler statue. This dude. Give me my friend. Where are you? There you are. I'm just gonna place him here. And rotate you that way. Obviously, this is just really a hallway, so there isn't gonna be too much going on. I did forget there was supposed to be like a hallway table here, and I totally just buzzed right past it. So we're gonna place that really quick. We're gonna use this table in a couple different spots. I believe it was this one. Hold on, I need to get my better picture so I can see which table it was. Yeah, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I build things to like 80% done, and then I will take reference pictures, and that's how I do my videos, because I am unfortunately a very anxious person, and the second I start recording, I will like forget everything. So that is how I'm able to make my videos. I am much better about it though, I will say. I feel like I have gotten much more confident and stuff in my videos, so that is good. But I already am, just by my own nature, am an anxious person. So it's one little thing I can do to help make myself feel a little more comfortable. Okay, yeah, that's better. I just was looking and I was like, that spot's empty. I don't remember that being so empty. Okay, I think I had like a picture here. I think it was the Mimsy portrait, I believe. This one, okay. I'm gonna shrink it down and place you right about there. Yeah, so there are going to be like wall sconces and stuff. I'm going to place those off camera. So at the end of this video, we're gonna have our usual end of video zoomy, so you can zoomy little zoom tour that I always do at the end, so you will see them there. But anyways, okay, this is gonna be like a little butler area, so we're gonna go ahead and do that since I looked at it and thought about it. So yeah, if you want, you could either have this being a bed and breakfast. I kind of built this with a bed and breakfast in mind, but I also just wanted to build a old house. So you could just have your Sims live here if you wanted to, and just have it be a regular old residential lot. That's also completely functional and doable here. I have to move these doors actually. But I don't want them so much. All right, I'm gonna see if I can zhuzh them out just a little tiny bit. I hate when that door frame goes, oops. I hate when the door frame just goes right up against the wall. It doesn't look very cute. So I'm gonna see if I can zhuzh these out just a little bit. All right, I can ignore that. I'm gonna give them like a little Roomba just because I want something here. And then I'm also gonna give them a room. So this is where if your Sims are quite wealthy, which they're gonna have to be if they own this house, I'm gonna tell you right now, this house is gonna be quite expensive. They're gonna need a lot of money. Yeah, you could have a butler live, and this would be like the butler's room. So we're keeping this quite simple. This is just for the butler to live in. I'm trying to remember which bed I used. I believe I used the cats and dogs one. But I wanted to keep it looking, the kitchen's slightly more modern, but I wanted to try and keep everything looking quite old-fashioned sort of looking. I don't know. I had a general, I wanted to keep to like the older looking aesthetic. So I'm gonna give our butler a little wardrobe, and I'm gonna have to pull that out of the wall just a bit, just so those corners are not going through the wall. I think that should be good. And then I'm also gonna give them a nightstand. It's quite a small room, but we still want to make sure they have enough space for stuff. Good narration there, Lexi. Alright, which nightstand do I want to give them? I might just give them the cats and dogs one just to make it easy. Where are you? Is it this one? Or is it the other one? I think it's the other one. Alright, I thought I wanted the cats and dogs one, but we're just gonna use the cottage living one. Just because that makes it easy. Alright, and then I'm also gonna give them a little alarm clock so we can make sure they're waking up on time. We'll stick to this one. Give them a more simple one, and maybe we'll give them a little side lamp, little table lamp thing, just so that if they want to read, they can do so. I'm also going to be placing either fireplaces or I believe they're called radiators, the little heaty things. Yeah, I'm going to be placing those in each of the rooms, but again, the radiators I might do off camera. We'll see. I'll either will remember to do them or I will forget to do them. That's honestly why I'm saying it like that. Because chances are I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll do these, and then I'll forget to place them in every single room. So yeah, if you get to the Zoom tour and there's suddenly radiators everywhere, it's because I remembered. All right, of course, this thing's not gonna work, so we're just gonna place it there-ish. Oh, that's gonna bother me. All right, hold on. Let me fix this. It's gonna bug me. All right, we're gonna leave it like that for now. I don't want to spend too much just fiddling around with a alarm clock. That's a lot. All right, up here, I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard to make sure you guys are able to see clearly what I'm doing. I want to put the suitcase with the books on it from Cats and Dogs. All right, it's this thing. I wasn't able to find it with the bookcases. I thought it was there, but it does not exist there. So I'm just going to use the hold down Control and 9. I don't think that is the proper key, but that's how it is on my keyboard. Yeah. So I think that will work. Hopefully that's not floating. Okay, and then for over here, I have to turn this off so I can get the proper thing. We're gonna go to fireplaces, and yeah, I'm gonna be using these ones. Yeah, just call the radiator. I'm gonna be using these guys in the different rooms and stuff. So I'll place one here just so I don't forget. This is so empty. All right, let me pick. We just need like maybe like a little cozy rug or something just to help fill in the space. All right, I went with this one from the laundry day. That works for now, at least. So I think I'm just gonna give them like a little picture. I don't know what exactly I want to put in here because I'm sometimes a little particular. I don't like to repeat stuff within builds too much because it kind of irks me. I'm kind of gravitating towards that one, but I think I want to save that picture. I think I used it somewhere else in the build. So I think I'm just going to give them this little tree of life, just so that the wall isn't just quite so blank and sad looking. But okay, I think this will work. I sound so confident, don't I? Maybe you want to give them like a small dresser? I don't know. All right, I picked up this clothing storage chest. That works. I just wanted something to help fill in that space, and then I actually do think I remember which light I put in here, so maybe we'll swap out this light. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much more time on this particular room. We're gonna use this one. It's from the little bistro kit. I forget exactly what it's called. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's the little that one, the purple bottle one. I think it's called the bistro kit. I'm not gonna go through and look for it, honestly. That's gonna be a waste of time. Okay, here is our little butler room. Yay. Do I remember? All right, I just used like this little light bulb, so we're just gonna place it there, and we can delete that. Yay. So yeah, this is just like the little butler area. There's like laundry and cleaning and whatnot, but that is going to be that for that room. Next up, we're gonna do the study. Why not? We'll do the study and then we'll do our little conservatory. All right, for the fireplace, I believe I used this one from the university pack throughout the build, just because it has a nice vintage aesthetic to it, and it just fit well with the vibes I wanted for this build. Okay, and then for the study, we obviously need bookcases, and I believe I also used the bookcases that came from the university pack. I think it was these guys. Yes, and I need the dark shade. Okay, for the picture, I believe I used the one from the Cats and Dogs pack. If I can find it with my eyeballs. Was it this one? Or no, it was this one. It was the more horizontal one. Do we like boats? Do we want to do boats? Yes, because that fits in there quite well. I might move it down just a tad, but we'll do that in a second. I think we're gonna do this one because this is definitely like a countryside. So I definitely think that the owner of the house, I think I said it in the first part, I think he's probably like some sort of professor of like botany or something like that. So he probably really likes nature and stuff. He's like the owner of this house. And I wanted to make that apparent. So there's quite a bit of plants and stuff throughout the build. I also just like decorating with plants. So yeah. All right, for the rug, I believe I used this one, not that one, but like the different shade, but I used the one from the vampire pack. I'm gonna try and center this to the room as best as I can. Like so, like that, I think. It's kind of difficult for me to tell because I did, this is like one of those rooms that are much darker than they actually are in here. So when we get to the zoom, you'll see I wanted a much more dark and moody aesthetic. So when we get to that, you'll see it. So yeah, that's part of what is kind of throwing me off with the decorations and whatnot, is like, it'll look darker in my reference picture than it actually is in real life. All right, since we're here, we're gonna pick out some curtains. Let's see if I can see which ones these are. I believe they're the base game ones. And, oh, actually, I think this is it. I think these are the ones I used. Maybe. I'm kind of trying to squint at it and see. It could have been these. Might have been these, honestly. Not that shade, obviously, and I'm gonna have to move that. Oh no, these have that terrible dinosaur pattern on it. I don't know why they did that. All right, we might end up using these ones then. I will, of course, have to move this table out. All right, this rug does have some, look at me trying to reason it. This rug does have some like burgundy to it. So I'm gonna say that that is okay. If you don't like that, you can change it, but I'm gonna leave it. I might come back and change it later, but for right now, we're gonna keep it going. All right, we need some chairs, and I'm trying to see which ones I used. All right, it looks like I used these ones, and they're not gonna be centered per se with the fireplace, because it's kind of a tricky positioning, because I wanted them to be close to the fireplace but not too close, because it's kind of floating in the middle of the room. So we're just gonna try and just them kind of close to the fireplace but kind of not. Probably around there, because I want to make sure the Sims are still able to get like around the rest of the room as well. So that will work for right now. But anyways, next we are going to be putting another smaller bookcase here. And I think I used the other one from the university pack. It's this guy. I liked it that it had these little drawers on it. I think that looks really cool. So maybe these are like older, more fragile ones. So they like to keep them a little bit more better protected. I don't. We're just gonna put it up against this wall, because over here we're gonna be putting a desk. And I'm gonna scroll all the way down. I do believe, squinting, I'm trying to figure out which one I used. Did I use this one from Crystal Creations? No. All right, we're gonna use this one from the Get Together pack. I wanted something that looked nice and old looking. Could also use this one. This one's also kind of fun looking. No, all right, we're sticking to the Get Together pack one. I'm trying to pick out a good wood swatch that will match our rest of our wood in our room, and I think that will work. Okie dokie. And then we need a chair. I said a chair. I don't think I'm going to be placing any TVs or computers. Of course, if you want to add some, you are welcome to do so, but I kind of don't feel like placing those. It's not the vibe, I think, for this build. But if you want one, you can do one. You could use the ones from, if you wanted to kind of keep to the older aesthetic, you could use the ones that come with eco lifestyle. I believe they're a craftable item, but if you go through the hidden objects cheat, then you can find it that way. Hopefully that made sense to somebody, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. All right, I just want to give them some little decorations. I'm gonna just do that really quick, but I need to find the book shelves that I want to use. I just want to give them a couple little plants and stuff and extra little, just to help fill in this wall. So let me do that. So this is what I ended up going with. This little clock's from Cottage Living. We got a little shelf here. Actually, I'm gonna just you over. I did place a couple of the wall sconces just so I can see. Yeah, so this like shelf has to come over a little bit at least, and I do want you to go up a little bit more. Yeah, okay, that works. I just wanted to help bring in a little bit of the plants and whatnot in here. I might clutter this up more later on, but for right now, I think this is pretty good. So we can move on to our little conservatory. All right, for our little conservatory, it uses a lot of stuff from the greenhouse kit. I forget exactly what it's called. Yeah, it's called Greenhouse Haven. I wasn't too far off. Let's see, show all. So I love this thing, and it comes in this beautiful green shade that I absolutely adore. Yes, it is that one. I was like second guessing myself there for a second. We're using a lot of stuff from this thing, to be honest, because obviously it is perfect for our little conservatory. All right. I also want to use this little table right around here. I'm gonna have to zhuzh you out a little bit so you're not hitting into anything. Good. And I'm also gonna change it to that beautiful green shade. And I'm doing a mixture of just decorative stuff and then, of course, like actual functioning things, but I just want it to be apparent that this person really likes plants. So that's good. All right, now I'm gonna grab, I'm looking at my picture, that's why I'm pausing. Okay, I'm gonna grab some actual potting spots so your sim can actually grow stuff, and it'll be sheltered, which is good, so that if it's inside, like, it doesn't matter what season it is. So you can grow whatever you want at any time. Did that make sense to somebody? Maybe. All right, for in here, I'm going to use 2 of these chairs. I'm gonna rotate them in just a second with the Sims 3 camera. But I just want to place them so I don't forget. And I'm leaving a little space here because I want to give them some vertical gardens as well. These are from the Eco Lifestyle kit pack. Like so, like that. All right, this ivy is cutting through the wall, but I'm sorry, I'm ignoring it. I don't feel like messing with it right now. All right, I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to put out here. I do remember I gave them, I didn't give them, I thought about putting a chess table out here, but I think I gave it into them in the, I think I gave them that in the music room later on. So it's like a little music / hobbies room, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But I do remember I gave them this, so, but not that color, obviously. We want the dark brown shade. What is it called? It's like that little decoration box, just so if you want to decorate the house for seasonal reasons, you can do so. I just didn't know where else to put it. I don't remember what it's called though. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here it is. It's the little attic stack decoration box. Just so that, yeah, if you do want to decorate the house for like Christmas or something, or no, it's not called Christmas in the game, it's called Winterfest. Excuse me. We can do that. All right, I'm gonna zhuzh these guys out a little bit, and then I'm gonna rotate them a little bit. All right, I think that's just about it. I do remember there was like a little wall decor that I used from Cottage Living, so we're actually gonna stay right here. I just used these same wall sconces were used outside in here just to help illuminate out here, but I don't want too much lighting on here, honestly. I don't think it needs it. But to finish it off, I'm just gonna give them this little watering can thingy from Cottage Living. I think I am gonna zhuzh it down just a tiny bit. And I think that is going to be it for our little conservatory. I'm thinking if I want to put another one of these here. I don't think I can do 2. Well, maybe we could do 2. It technically won't fit there. I'd have to zhuzh these over. All right, I'm gonna do that and then we will move on. All right, I placed more of these. I'll have to play test it, of course, to make sure, but I'm pretty sure our Sims should be able to get through there. But anyways, that is going to be it for our little conservatory. I like it. It's quite cute and nice. Next up, we can go over here and we'll do our music room. All right, it's going to be difficult to decorate this with that ivy. We're going to try to do the best we can. So I don't want to delete the ivy because I'm going to have to redo it. So I'm very sorry. We're going to have to try and work around it. Okay, I'm using this little shelf again. And then, yeah, this is a music room. It's quite a small room, but we're going to try and squeeze as much as we can in here. I'm going to give them this cool little globe bar thing. Just because I think it looks cool, I'm going to give them some books. Unfortunately, we don't really have, to my knowledge, I couldn't remember. I don't think we have any like music sheets of music. Oh my goodness, why was that so hard to remember? I'm sorry guys, I'm more tired than I thought. We may not get to recording both videos today. I might have to take it easy and not. I mean, we're only going to be out on Saturday, so I think we'll be okay. But anyways, focusing on what we're doing right now, I'm going to give them a radiator here in this corner, and I'm going to squeeze in 2 chairs. So if you want to hang out and listen to the music in this room, you can do so. I definitely want something nice and fancy looking. We're going to use these ones. And I believe I used, yes, this brown shade. I'm going to change the color of that radiator in a minute just because it's sticking out like a sore thumb in this room. We're going to do a bit this brown shade instead. And I'm going to have to zhuzh these chairs around just a bit so they're not so awkwardly placed. All right, there we go. So to help fill in this space, I am going to use, let me see if I can find it. It's this big, beautiful fern that I believe came with the For Rent pack. So let me filter it that way. I love this plant. I think this is probably one of my new favorite plants. I was very late to downloading the For Rent pack. I was very late to the game. Because yeah, I still don't have any income right now, so I have to be cautious and be a responsible adult and not spend all my money on Sims packs. My husband is very supportive of my Simsing and of my want to be YouTube career. So he does say like, Lexi, if you want to get some packs, go ahead, but I don't want to spend all my money on packs. So, okay, I'm looking for the tapestry that came from the vampire pack. I think that'll work very well in this room. So let me find it. I want to use this one. I think these colors work very well in this room. I'm trying to remember if I put anything on this wall. Because I think there is some paintings that have like music themes. I think I will use those. So there's this one, it's the base game one. And then I think there's one more that I used over here. Yeah, I think it's this one, this little piano one. And I'm gonna have to grab the piano, of course. We cannot have a music room without an instrument. And we're gonna use this base game one just to keep it easy. And there's quite the squeeze in this room, but I quite liked how this turned out still. For an extra pop of color, I'm going to be using this red rug. And I don't think I sized it up. I think I kept it there to that size. I am going to be moving that painting though because I want it to be centered, I think. A little bit more centered, and I'm going to move it up a little bit. And because I am very much plant person, I can never have enough plants in a room. We're going to give them another plant. I'm going to give them this hanging plant from the Paranormal Stuff kit. Was it a kit or a pack? I always forget. Just like that. And I believe I used the drapes that came with the Business and Hobbies pack. I think that's what I'm looking at here. Yep, okay. And I'm looking, I think I used this darker shade. Oh, but I need the proper height though. That might be helpful, right? Yes, okay. So we're gonna go and all the way across, just on each of these windows. I might have to zhuzh them around a little bit to make them fit better though. So let me do that. All right, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get for trying to align everything. I'm gonna delete this and grab that same chandelier that we used over here. So it's gonna be dark for a second, I'm sorry. Just to help complete this room. And we are gonna be sizing this down, and that is gonna be it for our music room. I think it's very cozy and fun in here. But anyways, we are going to move on to our living room. Okie dokie. So now we're gonna do our living room. I took a little garlic bread break because I was getting hungry, so I ate some garlic bread. It was delicious. And drank some water and stuff, and my throat is absolutely killing me. So I made something, it might be a little cursed. I put a cough drop. We're out of honey, so I just put like a cough drop in some like warmish hot water, and I'm waiting for it to dissolve. But I'm desperate, y'all. My throat's dying a little bit. So hopefully I don't sound too terrible, but we're gonna do our best. I don't think I'm gonna be able to record the second part today. I need to rest my throat so I don't completely lose my voice, because yeah, live streaming yesterday was a lot. But yeah, we need to try and rest up as much as we can. All right, I think I need to move these windows over a little bit, so hopefully that won't cause any issues for our exterior. No, okay, that should be fine. Just because the curtains were going to eat into that fireplace no matter what I did. So yay. Okay. For over the mantle, I want to put a picture. I believe it's from the get together pack. But it is the picture of this dude. But we're gonna pretend that this is the lord of our house. So yeah, that he's gonna be there, looking out over us, and we have the lady here in the hallway. Yeah. So there we go. Oh, this. Okay. So this is not a rug. This is, hello, down please. This is not a rug. This is actually carpet from the vampire pack. Just in case you were looking at it and you're like, what pack is that from? Yeah. So this is something I'm not going to sit there and claim like, oh my god, I'm so original, I totally thought of this myself, because I didn't. I don't remember if I did see this someone else do this, but yeah, a little life hack here. If you ever are unable to find a rug that perfectly fits your spot, this is, I don't know if I've done this in a build. I was working on a build, I haven't filmed it yet, and I figured out that I could do this. So yeah, if you're ever struggling to find a rug that fits your space, you can do this. So just place like carpet. All right, so moving on, we need to get our decorations going. We're like an hour in, so I'm hoping for another hour and this is done. We're almost done. We're pretty much like halfway done with the build, with this video so far. I still need to edit it, of course. Over here, I'm gonna be placing this picture. I'm sorry, I feel like this is still so dark. All right, I'm gonna take a second and place some more lights in here, I think. All right, I placed a couple of these little wall sconces. This is, of course, not the final positioning that they're going to be in when you go to download this build. This is just temporary because, yeah, it's kind of annoying me how dark it was, but this helps a little bit. Okay, we are moving on, and we are going to be using this guy again. I use this quite a lot in this build, just to help give some, just help fill in the space. I'm sorry, my brain is dying now. It's like a curse for me, honestly. All right, that's not, I want the puzzle box. There we go. It's like the kiss of death. Every time I go and take a break and eat something, I come back and I can't talk. I don't know why. I think my brain just like snaps out of it. I get out of the zone, but yeah, it's very annoying. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna put a little stack of books here also. I just think that, okay, if you are wanting to have this be like a bed and breakfast, it would make sense that they would have some little activities and stuff for the guests to do, because I did not put a TV in here. But if you do want to add a TV, you of course are welcome to do so. I said it earlier, but I've decided this is a no TV build. Honestly, a lot of my builds end up not having TVs. I don't know why. It's not like I have like a personal vendetta against TVs. I do watch, well, actually, no, I don't really watch too much TV. I do watch a lot of YouTube though. I like to watch a lot of like documentaries and stuff. So not much YouTube, like TV per se, but still technically YouTube. I don't know. I have nothing against TV. I do watch TV probably mostly in the evenings, when my husband is home. It's our way to, you know, hang out and stuff. It's a pretty normal thing to do. We're not really watching anything in particular right now. We're kind of in between shows at the moment, but we just kind of scroll and watch randomness. We watched, what movie did we watch? I think it's called Smile, the horror movie. I'm quite a scaredy cat, but it's not quite scary to me per se, which that could be true for someone else, or they could be thinking that I'm insane for saying it's not quite a scary movie. I don't know why. It doesn't quite scare me. I'm a very anxious person, but I was able to watch it. It didn't give me like nightmares or anything like that. The only thing I cannot watch is like demon stuff, like demons and nuns. Like The Nun, that movie, I can never watch that movie. She creeps me out. Like I remember, I think I just watched just like the trailer and I had nightmares just from the trailer. I do not know why. I don't know why she terrifies me so much, but yeah, I don't watch scary movies because I invest a lot of effort into not being anxious. So it would be quite counterproductive for me to watch something that's literally designed to make you anxious. So I don't watch scary movies. I'm not a scary movie person, but we did watch Smile because we sort of by accident watched the first, or not the first one, the second one, and it actually was quite good. I enjoyed it. It was spooky. I mean, there are some like spooky parts and stuff, but I was able to watch it. So, yay. All right, I'm trying to zhuzh this. Okay, I think that actually this needs to move down a little bit. I'm gonna move these down a little bit. But yeah, the first and the Smile movies are actually quite good. So if you are like me, you're kind of a scaredy cat, you might be able to watch it because I'm a very anxious person. So I give it the Lexi stamp of approval. Okay, I'm really confused now because I don't understand how I was able to zhuzh these in. All right, let me focus on this for a second. Okay, I think I got it figured out now. For whatever reason, I just could not figure out how I had laid out that table, those tables and chairs, but I think I got it right. And then I'm also gonna give them another table here. And I do have other lamps. I'm just gonna go over here and grab this lamp because I think I did use the same lamp here. Actually, no, it might be this one now that I'm looking at it. It might be that one. We'll see. That does look sort of right, but we'll see how this looks. Yeah, I think that'll work. This is now bothering me though. I might go around and change the color to more of that bronzy shade. Yeah, I think we will do that. But okay, I'm not gonna do that right now though, because I want to focus on getting this guy done, and so I can start editing and stuff, so that I can have a nice and chill Saturday with my husband. I'm very excited. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. We're going to the Sakura Festival in Copenhagen. I'm very excited. All right, this guy needs to come in because I forgot we need walk space here also. I'm gonna bring this table in slightly also. And I need the blankets that came with the base game. I believe they're base game. This guy. I love this thing. It's so cute and cozy looking. And then I also want to put a bookcase, and I think I use the one, I think it's also from the university pack. I like the stuff from the university pack. It's very good for if you're doing these sort of old-fashioned-y builds. I think I used this one, but this is not actually from the university pack, so I was incorrect. Okay, that looks fine. Your sim should maybe be able to get through here, but it's not like super essential that they're able to get through there. Are these the same color? Is it just the lighting? I think it's just the lighting. Boo. I hate it when it does that. It's so frustrating when it does that. All right, I'm gonna grab this little lamp here because it'll help light up this here. I'm gonna go around. Okay, no, that did absolutely nothing to help with that lighting. All right, so that is good for right now. All right, I need something right here though. I put like a little table here, so let me see if I can find this table. And then I think I put like a clock or something in that corner. So let me grab those. So this is gonna finish up the room. I ended up moving this doorway over a little bit. I realized that was what was kind of messing me up with the layout of the room. And then I used this one. I believe it's either base game or from the university pack. This is a lovely little orchid plant. And then I gave them a grandfather clock and another little plant there. And yeah, I'm quite happy with this room. I will come back and probably zhuzh some stuff around here later on. But we are going to move on to the kitchen next. All right, for the kitchen, we are going to be using the tall order vintage counters. This is a very large kitchen, so it's going to take me a minute to place everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we will come back. But I just wanted to tell you which counters we are using. So, all right, see you in a bit. I got all of our counters in. Next, we just have to put in, I did some of our cabinets, but we can do some of these together. So I'm gonna grab our half ones, and this is where we're gonna be putting our fridge. We also have a full tile right around here. I don't think I did all the way across, but we're gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna do a corner cabinet there. I'm gonna move that half tile one up a little bit just because it looks a little funky. And then I believe I did full tile across to there as well, or maybe just this one. I maybe did a half cabinet there. All right, now I can see I placed these too tall, so let me fix that. All right, I figured it out. My windows were slightly too inward. My bad. Okay, so now we have all of our cabinets in. Make sure these are the right color. I think they are. We just need to put in some appliances. We're gonna use this same fridge that I pretty much always end up using. I wanted it to be a little bit more modern-ish, but not like over too modern. I still wanted a vintage knob, but maybe we'll use that shade because the hardware on our cabinets is silver, so I kind of want to keep to the silver theme. And I'm going to be using the matching stove, of course. And since I'm here, we can go ahead and place our hood. I think I did use this one. And I'm going to try and place that. I think I might scoot you in up a little more. I don't know. That could be okay. We'll leave it for right now. I might change later. Okay. Over here, I wanted to try something a little bit different. I don't think I've done this before. We are going to use this sink from the cottage living. The cabinet colors are pretty darn similar, and I like the look of having this big cabinet counter. But yeah, if you don't like this, you can change it out, but I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. All right, next up, we need some little bar stools, and we are going to use these. I believe it is these ones, the base game ones, but I'm gonna look at them and make sure, because I normally take my reference pictures from up above, so that's why sometimes it takes me a minute to recognize things, and I think those do look good. We have a lot of brown in this build, a lot of brown and red. All right, so next up over here is I wanted to have like a little coffee/tea station. So they are going to need a kettle. I really like this kettle that came with the 4-vent pack. I want the, actually no, we're gonna stick with this one. I feel like this one looks a little bit more Englishy, if that makes sense. I like it because you can make coffee and tea with it, but it looks nice. Okie dokie. Next, I want to give them a little tea station. And I am gonna take a little breather and place the decorations. I got like a bunch of bits and bobs. Like I'm gonna put some curtains over the windows and whatnot, but I'm gonna do that off camera because that's gonna take me a minute to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a second and do that, and then I'll come back and show you guys what I did. I think this was all the decorations. I gave them bread blocks, some fruit. This is some base game curtains. There's still a little bit of lighting difficulty. I'm gonna go around and adjust all the lighting later on, but this is just temporary for now. I did forget there's a little painting I want to put here. So we're gonna do that really quick, and then once I'm done doing that, we're gonna move on to our dining room, and then we have a mud room and a powder room, and then that will probably be it for this video. All right, I just put this little picture here. I just thought it looked cute, kind of like it's like leaning up against there, but we are going to move on now to our dining room. For our dining room, this is very green themed, so I like green. Green's one of my favorite colors. It's always, I think it's kind of tied between green and purple. Like I used to be hardcore green, but it's been definitely more purple recently. All right, let's look. A little fun fact, I guess. So obviously I want to stick to our green theme. I don't think we're gonna use this one. This one's like too green. There's more like an olivey tone. I think it's that one. Is that it? All right, now I'm thinking this is not the right curtain. There we go. It was this one. I got confused. Okay, so yes, lots of green. But the table itself is not going to be green. And all right, I just looked at it. There is going to be a fireplace in here. So I'm going to go ahead and place that kind of sort of where it's going to go. It's just going to be about there. And then for the table, I had to get a little bit creative. I'm trying to see, I think this window actually might be incorrect spot. I think it's supposed to be more centered here. Yes, that looks better. All right, for our dining room table, I think I used, it's either from the university pack or it's base game. We're gonna use this base game one, and I like it because it has these little green details on the edge, and I think that looks cool. Okay, I think for the chairs, they're from the university pack. I remembered that I used something from the university pack in here. So I'm going to try and find our chairs. And I believe it is these ones. And I think I did, we're gonna take a little break from the green. I'm gonna use this orangey brown shade. And I'm just gonna place these all around our table. I decided to not put a tablecloth. If you want to switch it for a tablecloth table, you can do so. But I just wasn't feeling it for this one. All right, I'm trying to remember which flowers I used. We're gonna do some flowers and some candlesticks up on here. It kind of looks like this one. If I can try and center you. And then I used the candelabras that came from the get together. There you go. I just thought it would look very nice and fancy. I'm gonna switch this chandelier out to be this gold shade though, so it matches the metal of our candelabra better, I think though. All right, that looks good. For more decoration, we're gonna be putting another hallway table. If I can find the right one that I want. We're going to be using this base game one. Trying to remember how I centered this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then we just need pictures, and I am going to be putting some more sconces there as well, but we'll place those later. I might do that off camera. All right, I'm going to use this painting. I think I'm going to size it up like 2 times, and I'm going to try and lower this down while keeping it centered, like so, like that. And then I'll place the candelabras later, but I just want to place some knickknacks and stuff around the room, but we'll do that in just a minute. So, oh no, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I'm gonna do it off camera. So just give me a second. All right, I think that this is going to be it for our dining room. I did end up going and placing some of the wall sconces. These are not the final placements. I also realized that I forgot to place firewood and like fireplace cleaning supplies. I will go and do that and place them by all of the fireplaces, but I'll do that post-production before we do the final zoom at the end. But yeah, this is how our little dining room turned out. I think I am gonna do a little bit of adjusting here and there, but I want to move on. I guess we'll do our little powder room since it's right here, and then we will complete our final room, which is going to be our mud room here. All right, this powder room is gonna be quite quick and easy. It's very small, so there's not much you can squeeze in here. I'm going to be using the get together sink, and we're gonna be using, actually, hold on, I didn't get a good picture of this because I was like, no, I don't need to see how this looks, but I think I just shot myself in the foot with that. I'm gonna use the vampire pack. I like the older look, so now I'm gonna switch this. Maybe we'll use the sink from Vampires since it'll help fit that vibe better. All right, so I'm gonna rotate you. I think that looks good. All right. And then we're gonna turn around so we can see better what we're doing. I'm sorry, it's really difficult for me to film this because of the very awkward angle, but we're gonna do the best that we can. I'm trying to remember which mirror I used in here because yeah, I did not get a good picture in here. Maybe I'll use something with some wood. All right, that's a very tight shot, but I'm trying to see if all this metal is going to match itself. I think that might be good. I think we'll stick to this shade. All right, I'm just gonna give them some toilet paper and like a little towel thing, and we'll give them a little curtain also for some privacy, and then we'll move on to our mudroom. All right, here is the final result for our little powder room. Easy peasy. I just used this light from Cottage Living. Everything else is from Vampire Pack, and this little curtain is from the Bistro Pack. So yeah, that's done. Now we can complete our powder room. All right, so this is gonna be the final room of the build. I went ahead and changed this color. It was just a little bit too white for me against the green. I don't know why, it irked me, so we changed it. All right, so I'm gonna use this curtain again. I'm gonna use this shade. And we're gonna place this on either side. We're not gonna have a ceiling light in here. We're gonna do wall sconces, but I'm gonna place those in just a bit. Okay, I'm gonna get a little creative here. So bear with me here for just a minute. We're going to be using, I believe I used this one. No, it's this one. We're gonna use these cabinets and pretend that they are storage for like coats and shoes and stuff, because this is our mud room. We're not going to be using this white shade. We're going to be switching it to this shade. I don't know. If you don't like this, you can of course remove it. I just wanted to try something a little bit different. And then we are also going to give them a spot to sit. So this is like the room, if you don't know what a mud room is, this is like if they were outside walking around on the muddy countryside, you don't want to have to walk in and spread mud throughout your home, so you would come in through this way. So like I watched The Crown on Netflix, so that's the only reason I know what this is, because I'm American, we don't really call it this. Stalking, so it's like when you go out and you're like hunting for deer and stuff. I believe that's what it's called, what it is. But just like when they're outside walking around in boots and whatnot, yeah, this is the mud room, so they will come through here instead. All right, I also want to give them some more coat storage, just so that's more apparent. And I'm going to be using both of these. I'm going to kind of zhuzh this one right about there, and then I'm going to swing the camera around here a little bit and place this one right about here. Like so, like that. And I also want to give them the umbrella again. Well, if I do this, will it come up? Yes, it will. And I'm going to place this right underneath that window right there. And then I'm going to use both shoe racks. I would love if they would give us more shoe racks. I think they did with the business and hobbies, now that I think about it, but I just haven't tried to use it yet. So maybe that's my bad. But that looks pretty good. I think I want to give them the wall sconces in here. I think we're just going to do the same ones that I've been using throughout the build. And then I think that might be it. So let me find those. All right, I just roughly placed these. This is gonna be it for this video. I am gonna go and like fix things like this. This is very much not where it needs to be, and I have other little adjustments and items that I'm sure I forgot to place, but you are gonna go on and watch a lovely little Zoom tour that I will be making once I'm done making those adjustments. So if you see something is different in the Zoom tour than how it was in the video, that's just what happened. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe so you never miss out on any of my future videos. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys!